Hello, welcome back to another episode of D54. I'm Amit, joined by Mr. Sunny. How you going, man?
I'm good, man. How's things?
Pretty good, man, and pretty excited, man, because we're gonna react to some more interview stuff, guys. We like to actually react to a lot of interview stuff, and something that we did quite a bit before. Since as of late we've been doing a lot of movie stuff and song stuff, but we're looking to get back into this kind of stuff. But it gives us a great chance to look back on some amazing movies that we have watched, and arguably none better than this one. Honestly, man, Kireedam. Mohan Lal,
Bona fide classic.
yeah. Best way to say it, man. It is an absolute classic and one movie that, it's hard for me to forget some scenes of this movie.
Yes.
To be honest, and Mohan Lal's performance and the whole thing, it was just absolutely incredible. We reviewed this quite a while back, guys. So if you're interested in hearing me and Sunny talk about it, check out that video on our channel. But Sunny, man, what do you remember about this movie?
Man, the final scenes where he and his father, Mohan Lal, and his father are fighting. It is unforgivable. I think you just mentioned that scene, and it triggers so many follow up memories of what this film it was. And it's like a side of Mohan Lal. Like I haven't seen as many as maybe you have, but that side of Mohan Lal I hadn't seen before. That kind of face contorted in anger and violence, and just not something I'd see. But he carries it off so effortlessly. And just the powerfulness of that relationship between the father and son in that movie was like, I haven't seen a father and son relationship done as well as in that movie, that loving nature, the kind of descent into kind of anger with one another, misunderstanding, and ultimately just disappointment. It's heartbreaking, man. And just even talking about it takes me back to watching that and the reaction I felt the first time.
Yeah, man, it was such an incredible movie. And you're right, I hadn't seen so many movies explore the dynamic between a father and son and shattered dreams. The thing that this movie did so well was to just transform a character and see how society can basically destroy a character, because we saw a lot of that. Like he became a criminal overnight for defending his father, essentially in a vulnerable situation. And just the way this movie did it was unbelievably good. Like it was just so good. And it was a A.K. Lotidas movie, if I remember correct.
I think that's right, yeah.
Also just makes it all the more better because we have seen his work in Bhutta Kannadi as well with Mammootty. And then we saw him in this I think we saw them pretty close together.
Yeah.
So
it
was, we just got the sort of package
in.
Got to see what he was about.
Have to hold him in high regard just based on the two we've seen. That is a great catalogue of films.
No, and apparently he's got like so many more, which is just like that. So we're going to obviously look to do a lot more of his work. Probably dedicate a whole month to him as well, to be honest, at some point, and just have fun with that. But yeah, man. So we actually reacting this time to it's like a big interview where Mohan Lal talks about all his roles. It's called Mohan Lal Explores His Best 10 Roles, and it's from the Mathurabi International Festival of Letters, MBIFL 2020.
It's pretty recent.
I'm not sure if it's called Dasavataram. Sorry. That might be the name of it. Maybe he has a translation to something. But apparently in this one, he basically just talks about his 10 best roles. So we're only going to react and be looking at Kireedam, where he played the role of Sethumadhavan.
Yes.
That name rings a bell.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we get to that, he's being interviewed by Srinath Kotikal, and So wow. So Mohanlal and journalist Srinath Kotikal explores Mohanlal's acting career over 41 years and picks out 10 years that stood out. 41 years.
That's insane. And 10 years that stood out. That's incredible.
Oh man, imagine narrowing down to the top 10. Like there must be so many in this that would have been missed, right? Because he's done so many roles. It's crazy, but I'm looking forward to listening to Mohanlal talk. We've not actually heard him speak much.
No. That's right.
We've done a big Mammootty BBC interview, which was, we got to sort of see him speak and what he's about.
Yeah.
One thing, guys, we have to tell you that there was no subtitles for this video, so we've had to find other ways to get some kind of subtitles. Now, I don't know if they're 100% correct or not. I'm really hoping that they are somewhat correct and they're somewhat, at least giving us the essence of what this conversation is about. might not be 100% one-to-one what they're saying, so we might miss some stuff. But let us know in the comments if the subtitles are okay or not. If this turns out to be they're completely off, then I'm happy to trash this entire video because we might look like fools in the end. But the thing is, the truth is, man, like there's not that much that's accessible to us to do this with. So we're making the best of what we can out of this, and we're hoping that you guys are going to enjoy this reaction video, and we'll be probably stopping in between a little bit here and there to just discuss what he sort of said in the breaks. But yeah, man, we looking forward to this one, Sunny. Any other thoughts you have before we jump into it?
No, man, I'm looking forward to hearing the man himself talk.
Yeah, it should be awesome, man. All right, let's kickstart this one.
അടുത്ത അവതാരം സംഭവിച്ചത് 1989 കഥാപാത്രത്തിൻ്റെ പേര് സേതുമാധവൻ, സിനിമ കിരീടം. അതിലൊരു രംഗം നമുക്ക് ഒന്ന് വീണ്ടും കാണാം.
അടുത്തേക്ക് വരരുത്, അടുത്തേക്ക് വന്ന നോക്കില്ല, വരരുത്, വരരുത്, വരരുത്.
പൂർത്തിയാക്കി തിരക്കഥയായിരുന്നു കിരീടത്തിൻ്റെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുമായിട്ട് താങ്കൾ അഭിമാനത്തോടെ ഫ്ലൈറ്റിൽ യാത്ര ചെയ്തിരുന്നതും എവിടെ വായിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്? സേതുമാധവൻ എന്ന കഥാപാത്രം ഒരു അച്ഛൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം സഫലമാക്കാത്ത പല കാരണങ്ങളാ കഥാപാത്രം. താങ്കളുടെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം സഫലമാക്കിയ മകനായിരുന്നു.
അല്ല, ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ കോളേജ് +2 ഇല്ല, പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രി സമയത്താണ് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ സിനിമയിൽ അഭിനയിക്കുന്നത്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ അച്ഛനോട് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അച്ഛൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ഒരു ഡിഗ്രി കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വേണമെങ്കിൽ സിനിമയിലേക്ക് പോകും. അതായിരുന്നു അച്ഛൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹം സാധിച്ചു. ഞാൻ ഡിഗ്രി കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് പോയിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അത് സിനിമയിൽ ഒരു പക്ഷേ സിനിമയിൽ തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കുമോ എൻ്റെ മകൻ എന്നുള്ളതൊന്നും അറിയില്ല. പക്ഷേ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം അതായിരുന്നു, ഒരു ഡിഗ്രി കരസ്ഥമാക്കുക. കാര്യം അന്ന് ഒരു ഡിഗ്രി ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ജോലി കിട്ടാനും കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കൊക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം സാധിച്ച ഒരു മകനായിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ഞാൻ ഉള്ളത്.
അതിൻ്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ചോദിക്കാം, ഈ സേതുമാധവൻ എന്ന കഥാപാത്രത്തിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ താങ്കൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടത്?
കിരീടവും തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത സിനിമയാണ്. കാര്യം എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് അവാർഡ് നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞു, ഇതെൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ നാഷണൽ അവാർഡാണ്. ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യൽ ജൂറി അവാർഡ് കിട്ടിയാണ്. കിരീടം എന്ന ചിത്രത്തിന് തയ്യാറാകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് അതിൻ്റെ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഫുൾ എഴുതി കഴിഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൽ നിന്ന് വേറെ ഒരു മാറ്റവും ഉണ്ടായില്ല. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് പ്രാവശ്യം അത് വായിക്കാൻ പറ്റി. പിന്നെ അത് വളരെ സത്യസന്ധമായ ഒരു കഥയായിട്ടാണ്. അമ്മ, അച്ഛൻ, ആ കുടുംബം. പിന്നെ അതിൽ അവർ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പോലീസുകാരനാകാനാണ് അയാൾ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. അതൊക്കെ വളരെ ഒരു സാധാരണക്കാരൻ അല്ലേ, നമുക്ക് ഒന്ന് ആർമിയിൽ പോവുക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോലീസ് ജോലി കിട്ടുക എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന സമയമാണെന്ന്. അപ്പോൾ സേതുമാധവനെ എത്രത്തോളം അച്ഛൻ സ്നേഹിക്കുന്നു, കുടുംബം സ്നേഹിക്കുന്നു എന്നൊക്കെ ഉള്ളത് ആ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിലുണ്ട്. അമ്മയുമായിട്ടുള്ള സീനുകൾ, കാര്യങ്ങൾ. ഒരു പക്ഷെ എൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ അമ്മയോട് പെരുമാറുന്ന പോലെയാണ് ആ സീനുകൾ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ കൂട്ടുകാരോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്ന പോലെയാണ് സീൻ. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ പഠിച്ച സ്കൂളിലാണ് അത് ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്, മോഡൽ സ്കൂളിലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിലെ ഇമോഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഒരു സീൻ എടുക്കുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് നമുക്കറിയാം. ഒരുപാട് പ്രാവശ്യം ആ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് ഞാൻ വായിച്ചതാണ്. ഒരു പക്ഷെ അത് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ ഉണ്ടായ നല്ല സിനിമകളിൽ ഒരു സിനിമയായിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ അതിനെ കാണുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ലോഹിതദാസിനെ ഈ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ ഓർക്കുന്നു, സിബി മലയിലിനെ ഓർക്കുന്നു. കാര്യം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരുപാട് ചിത്രങ്ങൾ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഞാൻ ചെയ്തു. അതെല്ലാം എന്നെ ഒരു ആക്ടർ എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ എനിക്ക് നല്ല ഒരു ഖ്യാതി നേടിത്തന്ന സിനിമകൾ തന്നെയാണ് ആ കോമ്പിനേഷൻ. കിരീടം എന്നും എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ, ഒരുപാട് പേരുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ഇപ്പോഴും കണ്ണീർ പൂവിൻ്റെ കവിളിൽ തലോടി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ പാട്ട് കേട്ടാൽ ആ സിനിമ മുഴുവൻ ഒരു നിമിഷം നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിൽ ഓടിയെത്തും. അത്ര ശക്തമായ പ്രമേയമായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും അന്തർലീനം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ അടങ്ങിക്കിടക്കുന്നത് സ്നേഹമാണ്. സ്നേഹം മാത്രമാണ്. അച്ഛനും മകനോടുള്ള സ്നേഹം, അമ്മയ്ക്കോ മകനോടുള്ള സ്നേഹം, അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടുള്ള സ്നേഹം, കുടുംബത്തോടുള്ള സ്നേഹം. അപ്പം സേതുമാധവൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കഥാപാത്രത്തെ ഒരുപാട് മുമ്പ് തന്നെ എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിൽ കൊണ്ട് നടക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചു. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് എനിക്കത് അത്ര നന്നായിട്ട് അവതരിപ്പിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ കാരണം.
പക്ഷെ ആ സിനിമയിൽ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഈ കണ്ട രംഗത്ത്
Oh man, I mean, it's fun, just cool listening to him.
Yeah.
Just talk about sort of this role with so much like it sounds like it really meant a lot
It
to him, it
impacted
affected
him a
him,
lot.
and
Yes.
yeah,
It
definitely
like
right, and
started
it
him
seems like
on
it's
maybe
just
yeah, go on, man.
yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say like basically, you know, like obviously when he was sort of talking about even before the sort of second section, he was talking about sort of he's somebody who fulfilled his father's wish.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
kind of it probably did resonate with him to an extent to be like, look, I've kind of been in the situation where, you know, if things didn't work out
Yes.
for me like they did, I could see this kind of happening. As the story
Yeah.
is kind of one that, I mean, what makes it so great is it's so relatable in that it's something that it could have
Exactly.
happened to any of us, you know, anytime.
Yes.
Not saying that we'd all murder somebody, but like
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
it even happens in the movie is not like a cold-blooded murder.
No.
It's, you know, it's almost accidental, and the consequences after that. But you get to just, yeah, I mean, it's incredible that like how well he did that. But it looks like he used some of his own personal experiences
Exactly.
of sort of
Yes.
just his upbringing and stuff like that, with how he was with his father, his mother, and friends. It's incredible, man.
And maybe that's exactly why it felt so effortless seeing him, especially in those earlier
Yeah.
scenes in that movie, because he's almost playing a version of himself, because he's got that
Yeah.
loving relationship with his family. He knows what it feels to have the burden of a father's ambition on him, and the kind of knows how important that is to fulfill. And he's just kind of, and as you were saying, he can walk with that character because in some
Yes.
respects he is that character. Obviously, the trajectories of his life and the character's life, Sethumadhavan, are completely different. But
Yeah.
the fact that he's able to embody that is because there's an element of him in this role. And maybe that's why it still resonates so much with him today. And it says it's one of the films that kind of continued to inspire him as a actor, as well as working with that director. And they must have obviously had a very strong bond because they've worked together in the future as well. So it seems like this is a really important formative movie for him.
And the point that you talk about sort of, you know, the whole family dynamic and sort of how, you know, the whole thing about sort of love and all that stuff. That's what essentially the movie is essentially about.
Yes.
Like it's just about the love between family, and what happens when that deteriorates, and how much of an impact it
How
has on
painful.
every single person, and not
Yes.
just like that, the society, everyone, how it just crumbles everything around you when that
Yes.
gets broken. It's just breathtaking, man. Like, I mean, that movie does so many things in such a subtle way. That's why it just leaves you so. It's a kind of movie that just left me stunned at what I just
That's
seen,
right.
because I was like, they've done something so amazing here. They've told the story beautifully, and we're just getting something.
That's right.
And just
The
hear him talk
character
about
arc.
that. It's
Exactly.
yeah,
Hearing him talk about this and the kind of broad character arc of this character, it's completely believable, even though in the first scene you could never believe that he would end up as the guy in the last
No.
scene. But the way it's just beautifully kind of paced, the little things that happen along the way that push him down this path that you could never see before, all completely believable, not unbelievable at all. And once again goes to that relatability of this film, that this is not an inconceivable outcome when when, you know, that love ends and society kind of misunderstands you. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, and I think you also mentioned something around about it was shot in Kireedam or something like that. I tried to look up if Kireedam was a place. The closest that I could find, obviously, guys, we don't know if it might have been some subtitle issues too with some of that stuff. Like, I think he said he written the script. I'm pretty sure he didn't write the script. You know, I think maybe it's meant to be he read the script many times.
He read the script many times.
He sort of mentioned that, but I think I did some research, and I think there is some bridge somewhere. I don't know where, but there is a bridge somewhere, and that bridge has become like the Kireedam Bridge or something like that. And it's sort of become it's become like a famous set location.
Spot. Yeah,
because of just, you know, how big it's sort of become because of this movie and its influence. I think here it is. Kireedam Bridge will now become part of cinema tourism.
Fair.
Yeah, there you go. So it's pretty crazy. There's that song. Do you remember the song in this movie?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Where he's walking on the bridge.
Beautiful.
Yes.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah, and perfectly placed. And like, oh my god, it's just
it tells a story of itself. Yes.
Yeah.
And Can I also just note, as a footnote, like all the awards he won for this film, I wasn't aware that he kind of cleaned up, but also hardly surprising.
No, not surprising at all. Like
No.
I think he said it's his first national award, or
Yeah,
something
okay.
like that,
Yes.
which is India wide. Whereas I
Right.
think he had
Wow.
won other state awards before, which are
Gotcha.
more just based in Kerala. So
Yeah.
he went above in this one, and
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
Domination.
This performance was just
Stays
unbelievable.
with you.
But it does really stay with you, man. But yeah, this has been a really good interview. Let's see what the second half has to bring.
അത് പലരും നിരീക്ഷിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. താങ്കളുടെ ചില മനോധർമ്മം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു പുല്ല് കടിച്ച് ചമയ്ക്കുന്നതൊക്കെ അതൊന്നും പിന്നെ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിൽ ഉണ്ടാവില്ലല്ലോ. അത്തരം സംഭവങ്ങൾ താങ്കൾക്ക് പെട്ടെന്ന് മനോധർമ്മം പോലെ വരുന്നത് തന്നെയല്ലേ?
ഇപ്പം ഈ സീനിൽ കണ്ടത് അയാൾ ആരും എൻ്റെ അടുത്തേക്ക് വരല്ലേ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് സേതുമാധവൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ചവയ്ക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എനിക്കറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു ആ സമയത്ത് അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് തോന്നി. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ചെയ്തപ്പം സിബി അതങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യണ്ടെന്നും പറഞ്ഞില്ല. പക്ഷെ പിൽക്കാലത്ത് നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത് ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ്റെ മാനസിക നില തെറ്റാൻ തുടങ്ങുന്ന സമയത്ത് അയാളിലുണ്ടാകുന്ന ഒരു ചവയ്ക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്. ഇങ്ങനെ ചൂ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അത് ഈ ജോ മൂവ്മെന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ ഡിറേൽമെന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തുടങ്ങുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഒരു അവസ്ഥയാണ്. അത് അറിയാതെ സംഭവിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അതിന്റെ മനോധർമ്മം എന്നും പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല, അത് വേറെന്തോ ധർമ്മമാണ്.
പ്രണയത്തിലും അങ്ങനെ ഒരു രംഗം ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. പ്രണയം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സിനിമയിൽ മൂക്കിങ്ങനെ തൊടുന്ന ഒരു രംഗവും അതേപോലെ ഈ അത്തരം
അല്ല, നമ്മൾ പിൽക്കാലത്ത് എവിടെയോ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാകാം. പാരാലിസിസ് അങ്ങനെ വന്ന ആൾക്കാരിലൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ മൂക്കിങ്ങനെ ആക്കുന്ന ഒരു സിസ്റ്റമുണ്ട്. തന്മാത്രയിൽ അതുപോലത്തെ പല രംഗങ്ങളുമുണ്ട്. അപ്പം അത് അറിയാതെ സംഭവിക്കുന്നതാണ്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. കുറച്ച് ദിവസം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ, നമ്മൾ സിനിമ തുടങ്ങി കുറച്ച് ദിവസം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ആ കഥാപാത്രം നമ്മളെ തേടിയെത്തുന്നു. അതൊരു ഭാഗ്യമാണ്. ആ ഭാഗ്യം എപ്പോഴും എൻ്റെ കൂടെ ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു.
I mean, that's mind blowing. I didn't even notice that because I forgot that. You know, I can't remember him making those kind of gestures. But for him to just subtly insert that into the movie like that and just improvise it and just have it just be like, yep, it's actually showing the physical derangement of the character.
Yes,
that's crazy, man. That's that's pretty impressive.
That is incredible. And it just shows, like, it's not just the acting. Like, acting is not just delivering words with impact, right? It's all the physical movements as well that he seems to have completely mastered, and not a thing that I would imagine Mohan Lal being able to do, but he just does it so effortlessly. And for it to, like, make sense after he's done it, like, is he saying that he didn't know it at the time? That's what it meant?
I think he'd seen it in another somewhere else, I think.
Right.
But I don't think it was in the script necessarily. So he just improvised that sort of jaw movement he did during the movie, and the director told him, "Don't stop doing it." He didn't tell him to stop doing it.
It just shows you that he's, like, gotten into that character, right? And this is like he's completely immersed in that, and he's doing these things, and it just, like, unknowingly and beautifully captures the essence of where that character is at that point in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone that can pull off those, like, facial, like, you know, like adjustments that he does so beautifully, there's no one else I can see that has so much expression in their face and that can just change it at any time. And we see that in this movie from the start to the end, but even in between, the subtleties that I don't even remember that were there with sort of some of the physical stuff as well. That's just incredible, man. Like, wow.
Reminds you why he's a master.
Yeah, reminds you why he's a master, man. It's unbelievable.
കിരീടം ഒരുക്കിയ സിബി മലയിൽ ഈ സിനിമയെ പറ്റി ചില ഓർമ്മകൾ ഇവിടെ പറയാനുണ്ട്.
കിരീടം എന്നുള്ള സിനിമ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ട് ഇപ്പം ഏതാണ്ട് 30 വർഷത്തിന് മുകളിലായി. 1987 എൻ്റെ വിശ്വാസം. 33 വർഷത്തോളം ആവുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് ലോഹിദാസിൻ്റെ അതിഗംഭീര സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റായിരുന്നു. സുബി മലയുടെ അതിഗംഭീരമായിട്ട് എടുത്തു. എൻ്റെ കൂടെ സ്കൂളിൽ പഠിച്ച കിരീടം ഉണ്ണി എന്നാണ് അങ്ങനെ പേര് തന്നെ വന്നത്. ഉണ്ണിയും ദിനേശ് പണിക്കരും കൂടി ചേർന്ന് കൃപ ഫിലിംസിൻ്റെ ബാനറിലാണ് അപ്പോൾ എടുത്തത്. നമ്മളൊക്കെ നല്ല രസകരമായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തൊരു പടമാണ്. അഭിനയിക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ അറിയാമായിരുന്നു ആ സിനിമ ഒരു ക്ലിക്കാവുന്നു. കാര്യം തിലകൻ ചേട്ടൻ്റെ അതിഗംഭീരമായ കഥാപാത്രം, മോഹൻലാലിൻ്റെയും അതിഗംഭീര പെർഫോമൻസ് ഉള്ള പടം. അന്ന് അതിൽ എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുള്ള 1-2 കാര്യങ്ങൾ. കീരിക്കാടൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് സിബി മലയിൽ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആ സിനിമയിലായിരുന്നു. കീരിക്കാടൻ എന്നുള്ള പേര് വന്നത് തന്നെ ആ സിനിമയാണ്. മോഹൻ ജോസ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പേര്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഫൈറ്റ് രംഗങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഗംഭീരം എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ പുതിയതായിട്ടൊന്നും ആളാണ് സിനിമയിൽ. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടൈമിംഗ് ഒന്നും അന്ന് അങ്ങർക്കില്ലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം മിക്കവാറും അങ്ങനെ അടിയൊക്കെ മോഹൻലാലിൻ്റെ ധാരാളം കൊണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്.
സിബി മലയിൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ക്ഷമിക്കണം, സിബി മലയിൽ വേറെ വരുന്നുണ്ട്.
Wow. So I think that was the director, right? Sibi Malam.
Yes, that's right. Malayali.
Yeah. So I think that was the director who's speaking that. Yeah, did he pass away or something? Or
that is a good question. No, I think he's still around.
Okay.
Maybe just reflecting on it. Yeah.
Okay, so they was interviewing him. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, he's still alive and kicking. That's good to hear. But yeah, I mean, it was sort of good to see sort of him sort of there as well. But yeah, man, like it was it looks like Mohan Lal. We have to talk about Tilikan as well, who was also absolutely
the father
spectacular character.
Yeah,
who was awesome in this movie as well, and just the
Pitch
two-handed, those two just going off each other.
That dynamic was incredible.
Behind the scenes as well now, you got to see, Sibi as long with AK Lotidas as well.
Yes.
So, they had a very strong team behind them to sort of make this come together.
Yeah, and that's why I say they knew this was going to be a bit of a hit. Like they had all of these perfect confluence of circumstances and people, and they were guaranteed that this was going to be great. Well, I mean, what a privilege it is to watch something that is such obviously a classic and held in such high regard by Kerala Indian cinema. Like it's a privilege, man.
No, it goes down. It's honestly like one of the best movies I've seen so far, and
absolutely.
That's a pretty big deal because we've seen some pretty great movies just on this channel itself. So it's pretty incredible, man. But that was a really nice one to watch.
What a down to earth person as well, man. I just love that about just like no airs about it, just casual and humble and not kind of no ego there.
No, but also like the way it's sort of shot, it's just shot in like a amphitheater with like it didn't feel like it was very it was obviously very prestigious and that looked good and all that stuff. But we're talking before a little bit, like I've not seen this from like Hollywood or anything like that to just come out and speak to like a crowd of I don't know
fans
if it's journalists or fans or who they were, but it didn't seem like it was like the Oscars or something like that.
No.
Like you don't see that from Hollywood at all.
It seemed like just kind of people who love cinema or literature in some sense who had come together to hear someone who they admire speak about kind of his top 10 roles or that's great, man. We don't get to see enough of that, I think.
No, we don't. It's really cool. But yeah, man, this was pretty awesome to just sort of reflect back on this movie and see what Mohan Lal had to say about it. We'll definitely be doing more. He mentioned Tanmatra in this one itself, and that's a good reference to sort of the geez, you want to talk about facial expressions? My God.
My gosh, man.
My God. But yeah.
Another one that stays with you.
We'll definitely be reacting to the same sort of interview, whatever, this panel was from the same place. Sort of this MBIFL in 2020. So the same lecture, whatever it is. We'll just do one for Tanmatra as well down the line. But as for now, man, this was pretty awesome, Sunny. I really enjoyed it.
A lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
And this was great. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you thought about Kireedam. Go back and check out our review for Kireedam. It's honestly one of the best ones I think that are on our channel. We're just going back and forth on that one, but it is fantastic because we are so immersed in that movie and just
powerful
like the same passion we have now. Same one we had back then as well, man. Just 100%. More mind blown. But yeah, till next time, Sonny, man. Catch you soon.
Catch you soon, man. Pleasure.
See you, man. Bye.